Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone or anytime you are coming across my platform. If it is your first time and you like what we are doing in this platform, kindly like, subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notification. And I want to appreciate you too for creating this wonderful platform that we are using to disseminate information. At the same time, I put a disclaimer that here in Linda's TV show, we do not promote misleading information, hate speech, or violence. We are here to educate and inform the members of the public about what is happening, and also YouTube to tell you that a call for self-determination is not a call for war. Great people, I greet you all. Let's watch today's video, and after that, let's come to the comment section to air our mind and our opinion constructively. Thank you.
Nigeria's foreign policy. That you can say Nigeria is different from the Francophone countries. So this is part of the Delulu life the majority of Nigerians were raised with. Oh, Nigerians are proud. Nigerians are rich. Oh, Nigerians are loud. And indeed, because they say Nigeria is the giant of Africa. These are just some Delulu nonsense that they've put in our head for long. Nigeria is not independent. These guys could do whatever they want. Look at you. Do you know that Nigeria is considered as an Islamic country, as a member of Islamic organization of this world? And Nigerians were not asked if they want to be part of an Islamic organization. Nigerians were not asked. It was just made, and that's it. And there were people that they will kill people if you say they should remove Nigeria from it. But they are the, he said more, and I want you to listen, because this is not just like using every other sentiment and okay, but this is like some good information that you can still hold when you're having an argument or having a conversation around these subjects. It's important. As for Tiknumbu, I don't think these guys know who they are dealing with yet. You don't know yet, but you will find out. Well, listen.
Of the coming together of such eminent Nigerians and scholarly minded people and warning the Nigerian government, you must have seen something. What did you see?
First of all, we study geopolitics, and we've been following closely recent transformations in the world geopolitical order. In particular, the transformations in West Africa with 4 countries organizing coup d'etat against democratic regimes, 3 of them changing their strategic partner relations from the West, US and France, to Russia, and the entry of the Russian military into the zone. Clearly, the hegemons that are the United States and France that have held sway in this region since colonial times are extremely upset. But not only are they extremely upset, they urgently need new places to redeploy troops that have been sent out of those countries. Just from Niger alone, you are talking of 1,500 French troops and 1,100 troops from the US. You are talking about the biggest zone station that the United States owns in the entire world was in Agadez in Niger, and now they've been told to pack up. This they use for the surveillance of the entire Sahel North African zone right up to the Middle East. So it's a major strategic blow that has happened to the Americans, and their immediate issue is to relocate these bases, these forces, and this equipment within the region. Of course, they've moved some of their forces to Chad, but they found Chad to be too far to the east, as far as much of the Central Sahel is concerned. And Nigeria, for them, is a strategic location, which has a 1,600 kilometer border with Niger Republic and is close to the other Sahelian countries. So this is the open source that we all know. But I think in addition to this open source, there have been indications of these discussions with the Gulf of Guinea countries. The current edition of Jeune Afrique, for example, has a detailed report about the agreements being negotiated between the United States and Cote d'Ivoire. 2 weeks ago, we got the reports from the Ghanaian parliament about the memo sent by the Ghanaian president about a base. And we also know that Nigeria has been approached by both countries on this matter. So there is clear evidence that these are the transformations happening in the world, at the world level, and that there are ongoing discussions, and Nigeria is a key target for them because of its strategic location in the region.
For a lot of
Now, somebody said, if the Fulani or a northerner is scared of something like this, that means it must be something good. So therefore, they won't believe whatever any Fulani speaking grammar. See, they have messed up with our heads, no doubt. And I don't think it's going to it's going to get cured in this generation. I understand, but there are still people that can do what is called critical thinking, okay? I know, like I said, they've messed up with our heads. Immediately you saw him on there, automatically he's a Fulani. And whatever he had to say doesn't matter to you. Okay. But for those who can still kind of look things critically, I want to speak to you. How many of you have an idea of the current world politics? War here, war there, all of this stuff. And then how many of you probably have an idea that is actually already ongoing, what you can call the Third World War? And the Third World War, for some, is believed to be planned to be fought in Africa. And let me explain that to you. It's going to be war of many wars. Economic and the usual mortal wars. And if you are not paying attention, I hope you should now. Currently, all over the world, there is a belief among all these guys that the future, Africa, is their future. For some reason, without planning any recolonization or what have you, the last 10 years I've seen the surge in the interest of all these different world power in Africa, in different parts of Africa. And the increasing rejection of the West, which is a threat, according to them, to their future. How? Before now, America, Europe, and some of their allies, they have used their presence in Africa to increase what you can call their, a bountiful reward from Africa by exploiting their resources and supplying weapons to continue to keep the continent restless. That is that. But China, they found their way too. Russia, they are back. And every one of them, China is making advancements. Russia is making advancements. And as these two are making advance in Africa, the West is depreciating. On this, they are now going to some of the supposed non-allied countries. Listen, there is something called NATO. Because you know that, NATO. and there are also those who are not, there are members of that NATO, and there are those they call the non-allied members. These are people that are not compulsorily meant to be involved in any of their wars that they are waging all over the world against themselves. So in this case, Nigeria happened to be a non-allied of some of this, which means Nigeria could deal with China, deal with Russia, deal with America, deal with Europe, deal with Arab, deal with anybody without any level of allegiance. And the reason why Nigeria has been able, and few other countries in West Africa have been able to do this, is because over the years, they've never allowed any of these military base and all that in their countries. They signed allied deals where, you know, they have these military exchanges. Nigeria has same. Exchanges is when Nigeria can buy weapons from China, buy weapons from Russia, get weapons from America, buy weapons from Europe. Not many countries have that same privilege because their allegiance have been to either Russia, China, or America. And in most places in Africa, right, none of these, especially the West, one of the things that have made the West, when I say the West, I'm talking about America and Europe. One of the things that have made them lost so much ground in Africa is because they have treated Africa, they've treated African resources as more important than the Africans. So over the time, they've allowed, in fact, they've helped corrupt regimes to further oppress their people as long as the free flow of the resources. Now, somehow, these allegiances are now changing. The map is changing. So there is going to be future war. And it's no African war. It's the war of resources. It's war of natural mineral resources. And they will make you, Africans, fight the war. So if you are not seeing it yet, maybe you should. So where you are seeing Fulani or seeing Yoruba or seeing this or that, you see, when this happens, you will have no choice to say, if you try, because you have no choice not to participate, you will be conscripted into their war. And many of your young people will die. And this is the ground for it. So with the moment Nigeria takes this, which Kalu, if he's not thinking, maybe they should probably say it loud and clear to him, is that once this happens, whether you are Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Igala, Ijo, Ishekiri, Yoruba, Efiki, Tifi, Fulani, Hausa, whoever you are, they will pick you up every now and then. Why they are throwing your young people into their war, your resources will be used to fund it. And again, that's something you should be worried about. So it may sound like Abba because of base. Like I said, I'm talking to people who can think critically. I'm not talking to superstitious people who are living off some of the some of the Lulu delusion of things they've put in your head to make you feel like Nigeria is this or that. But listen to Professor Akinyemi. He is also a foreign affairs. He was a foreign affairs minister in Nigeria. He has this to say.
Shocked about this development, and I hope it is not true. We have a long history about attempts at installing a military base in Nigeria. You recall, no, you won't recall, you are too young. At the time of our independence, there was this attempt by the British to install a military base in Nigeria. It was raised in Parliament. Students from University of Ibadan came on a march, and there was a brouhaha, and finally they killed that project. Therefore, this will not be the first time that there will be an attempt to have a military base in Nigeria if it is true that there is such an attempt. The last thing Nigeria wants is to have a military base by a superpower in counterpoise to another superpower, because in a way, Russia moving into Niger, into Mali, into Burkina Faso, the United States moving into Nigeria brings us actually right into confrontation with each other. And that's the last thing we want. I know that we have problems with the jihadists, with ISIS. We have security problems, yes, but the solution is not for us to be in confrontation with another superpower. We will simply, you know, we will maximize our problems. Therefore, I hope it is not true. I hope.
Just so you know, you don't pretend, I believe you will not pretend that the war to capture Africa and our resources and use our people to defend the capture has been going on for the past 20 years all over Africa. Let me show you something. Talking about the presence of all these superpowers. You know about the Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, and few of them like that, meeting Russia and getting military support from Russia, which means Russia is building base in those places. And what Russia is promising them is that they will defend them against any Western power trying to destabilize their countries for their resources, like they are doing in Congo now. And they took the deal. So that to America is like Russia is there, China is there, and America is disappearing. That is unacceptable. Since America and Europe are pals, right? Nigeria taking this just simply means you are now American NATO, while the Mali, Mali, Niger, and the rest of them are Russians. Russians. So the moment they want to try anything out, all they have to do is just to shoot themselves, shoot from both sides. Remember, Russia is very far from Africa. Europe and the rest of them, they are not Africa. And all these people is like now bringing their own war right to us. Ask yourself, if this is about protecting Africans, how come they just, their base in the Niger Republic, which seems to be the largest or biggest in that axis, it has been there for more than 20 years. How come the terrorists in the Sahel are still existing and growing stronger? French forces have been in the Niger Republic and some of these French-speaking countries and their bases, so they have been there for more than 50 years. And if you had the colonization period, they have been there for more than 100 years. And instead of the terrorism to die down and the people enjoy their resources, the terrorism continued to grow, escalated. So if anybody tells you that, now take a look at this. So many countries have different forces in Africa and where they are. Now, if you look at this map from your left, you will see Belgium, you will see Britain, you will see France and America, where they are currently stationed their different forces. All of this. And in Mali alone, look at that map called Mali. See how many forces there in Mali. And yet, there's no security in Mali from the terrorists for years. Then if you go to Niger as well,
Look at all of these forces all over the place. Let me go check. Do we have any of them in Nigeria? Let's see. Ivory Coast, Guinea, and then you go forward and then to Nigeria. So in Nigeria, you have the terrorists. These are the one in black spot. See where they are. Very close to Niger and Chad and the northeast of Nigeria. See that place called ISWAP attacks. That dark spots. But look at all these forces all over this place. Because they are not there to protect Africans. They are there to protect what they are taking from Africa. You get that now? So this is America. United States military bases all over Africa and where they are. See, as at 20, and how much they have actually spent in those places too for that period. So the bottom line is that it is not that there are no presence of America in Africa enough. It is just that their priority has never been about Africans, even if they say that all the time. So the depreciating presence of, the West in Africa is due to their help in sustaining poor leadership, draconic dictators that have only made Africans poorer. And now that Russia, China have been dangling the carrots, building roads, training their military, supplying them weapons, building infrastructures across all these countries. So a lot of them are now shifting back. So if they're going to fight war in Africa, all they have is just to see if they can get the giant of Africa on board. And this is the man in charge of the place. He is a man who is ready to jump. Ask him to jump, he will jump as high as you might, as high. It will only ask you like how high. But he is currently missing. Where is Steve Numbu? It's not as if like if you see him, is probably going to, bring any light into the room than darkness. But where is he? They said he can rule from anywhere. Okay, great. But where is anywhere? Do you know where is anywhere? We could have tracked him, all right, if their presidential jets are working. So you know what happened to their presidential jets? So Tifnubu went to Netherlands. And as they were planning to go to Saudi Arabia, the aircraft, according to them, were packed up. It won't work. So they decided to go and bring the one for Shitty Man from Nigeria. So when they brought that one over, the moment that one touched down in Netherlands as well, it won't work. Abba. So they now said, okay, they should just send all of them for repair. And Kolu still had to proceed to Saudi Arabia on a chartered private jet. And since he appeared at the World Economic Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, he hasn't been seen in public since then. I know it could, because you know what they did to some of you who have always been asking, how come Tifnumbu is no longer shaking? How come Tifnumbu is no longer slurring when he talks? And somehow, some of you were convinced that he was pretending during the campaign. He was pretending not to be well. Well, should I say, God bless your ignorance, Abi? But here is the answer. Tifnumbu wasn't your president at the time. And he, as unwell as he was, he needed to have a break away from the public. But because he couldn't be away from the public. So what was that? It was now being shuttled back and forth. In the process, there are so many lapses. Okay? Some of the times he had to be drugged just to appear at different campaigns. And when he appears, he just say one blah, blah, blah nonsense. And they pack him up again, jag him up again, pump him up again for the next one. So they were managing him to push and push and push. And that's why he never had any TV or any one-on-one interview with anyone without them having to script or record it. But here is what changed. All right. In fact, this was one of the reports like Teknumbu's camp in 2015, when they got the report that Bokwari was very, very sick. Okay. That Bokwari had a very serious terminal illness and he could die in 6 months. Okay. And that was why they felt like he should be president. Soruga will be president after that. So that didn't work. It was like a gamble that didn't last. So similar thing is now being said. This same health report is in the hand of these jihadist Arewa northern rogues. And they believe that maybe he's probably going to die after 6 months, the way he was doing. The way he's, they forgot the fact that, you see, this is 2024 now, by the way, okay? But this is 21st century. There are some healthcare that money can really buy. But it's just like, you know, it will only be for a while when nature will take its course, okay? For Bokwari's time, they had to use the body organs of God knows how many people. Just to kind of, they almost replaced almost everything in it. Kidney, heart, everything in it. Just to kind of post him up like that posture you have there. As for Tiknumbu, his own problem is drug-related, dementia. You understand that now? So it's called the drug withdrawal, the old age, the shaking, the slurring, and all of that. They were drug-related. So what did they do for Tiknumbu? Instead of taking him to France every now and then, why not bring France to, instead of taking him to the American hospital in France, why not bring them to Abuja inside the Aso Rock? Get him jagged, get him pumped, let him rest most of the time before he actually goes out there. It still doesn't make any sense than dropping big words that don't make any meaning. But a lot of you are so like, he's talking now when he's actually not making any sense, right? However, that is like managing the problem. So you could still tell where he was. But the last 8 days, nobody has heard or seen Tiknumbu. I'm not like concerned though. I'm just saying, if he can rule from anywhere, the question is, where is anywhere? If it's in Saudi, if it's in Germany or German hospital, or if it's back to the American hospital in Paris, the ideal thing is just to say, oh, he's ruling you from Paris, or he's ruling you from Saudi. In fact, some of you are I think I'm having an audio issue. Can you still hear me? Sorry about that. There is a connection problem, right? And I think it affected the audio. I hope the audio is back now. It should be back. Thank you. I think it's the network. It's sort of a slag a bit there, and broke the connection network, rather. So, I'm sorry about that. You see, network can be a little bit funny too. Okay, but the sound is back, right? If I know. So if the sound is back, which I think it should. If the sound is back, somebody said it's not clear. What does that mean? Okay, I will be back in a second, okay? But before then, right, I want you to kind of listen to this.
People, this group of men who claim that are assembly members are not assembly members. They are not existing. I want it to be on record. I accepted that peace accord. I accepted that peace accord to give them a floating. That's the truth. There was nothing in that peace accord that's a constitutional issue. It's a political solution to a problem. And I accepted it because these were people that were eating in my house. These were people that have helped pay their children's school fees when I wasn't even a governor. So what is the thing there? Yeah, we might have a division, but I believe that one day we could also come together. And that was the reason I did it. But I think it's according to a time when I need to make a statement on this thing, so that they understand that they're not existing. Their existence is me allowing them to exist. If I de-recognize them, they are nowhere. That's the truth. So, I want you to see the sacrifice I've made in the cause of allowing peace to be in our state. I can say here, with all amount of boldness, I've never called any policeman anywhere to go and harass anybody. I've never gone anywhere to do anything against anybody. But what happens to people that are supporting me? They are being harassed. They are being detained. There is no week that somebody doesn't come here with one letter of invitation for trump up charges and all those things. And in the face of this, you use the word. And why I'm saying this is because of what my senior said here, restrain. I don't think the other party has shown any restraint. I am the one that have shown restraint in the face of this thing. I'm the one that is badly heated, even when I have.
Apologies to everyone once again. For some reason, I don't know why the audio is still kind of acting up. I'm going to need your help because we are about to open there. Give me a sec. So for some reason, I don't know why my voice or my audio is really acting up. Just give me a sec, okay? I'm going to go try and fix that. I'm so sorry. Sorry about this. All right. Well, let's see if the network is okay. Then let's
people, those group of men who claim that are assembly members are not assembly members. They are not existing. I want it to be on record. I accepted that peace accord. I accepted that peace accord to give them a floating. That's the truth. There was nothing in that peace accord that's a constitutional issue. It's a political solution to a problem. And I accepted it because these were people that were eating in my house. These were people that have helped pay their children's school fees when I wasn't even a governor. So what is the thing there? Yeah, we might have a division, but I believe that one day we could also come together. And that was the reason I did it. But I think it's according to a time when I need to make a statement on this thing, so that they understand that they're not existing. Their existence is me allowing them to exist. If I de-recognize them, they are nowhere. That's the truth. So, I want you to see the sacrifice I've made in the cause of allowing peace to be in our state. I can say here, with all amount of boldness, I've never called any policeman anywhere to go and harass anybody. I've never gone anywhere to do anything against anybody. But what happens to people that are supporting me? They are being harassed. They are being detained. There is no week that somebody doesn't come here with one letter of invitation for trump up charges and all those things. And in the face of this, you use the word. And why I'm saying this is because of what my senior said here, restrain. I don't think the other party has shown any restraint. I am the one that have shown restraint in the face of this thing. I'm the one that is badly heated, even when I have all the instrument, government instrument, to cause disaster. But why would I do it? This is a relationship that you eat together, you drink together. Why would I forget those things? So even when I act knowing fully well that there's a relationship which is bigger and greater than any other thing.
And I hope it is fixed now. I do not have a clue why our broadcast is being jammed. Maybe America and Britain, I'm sorry, America and France are trying to say, shut up there. What are you talking about? Like, we could make you not be able to talk again, but I don't think so. But that would be like superstitious. So let's put that aside. Anyway, so I hope this works now. If you can hear me loud and clear, just say yeah. So my own 1 hour is gone now, and I actually have a few other things to share with you, but I'll just keep them to myself until when I have my own shot of the prime time. So if you are interested in being part of this chat tonight, please use the link. Yeah, there is a link in the description of this video. Okay, please use that in joining us. Currently, I think there are some parliamentarians already waiting. But for those who have put on their their cameras, I want to say thank you. For those of you who haven't, we'll wait for you to do that. But there's somebody in the house that I can see in the studio right now. Do you want me to say or just show you him? No, I'm just going to show you him instead of saying. Now, the first parliamentarian tonight, a very, 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 very popular face on his first appearance on this platform, right? He's back. Sekou, my brother. You can unmute, by the way.
Yes, peace and blessing, my brother. How are you?
Very well. Should I say Happy New Year to you? We've not had you since the first and the last time we had you on air. And then it's really good to see you back in the studio, by the way. So, how are you?
Yes, I'm very happy to be back. I'm always following. Even if I don't come to the parliament, I always follow all the podcasts. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
So
and
thank you
others,
for
like I
having
said,
me back. I'm happy to be in the house.
Thank you. Others who are still there in the studio who are yet to put on their own cameras, right? We'll wait for you. I think I have the first, worthy parliamentarian here that we can indeed rub minds together before the rest of you are ready. Please put on the camera, mute your microphone, and we can declare now the parliament open. Sekou, thank you so much once again for joining us, okay? And as we do here, what you want to talk about, and then you can delve into them as much as you want. And intermittently, I might kind of try to engage, make it more interesting. So if you are okay with that. So yeah, the parliament is hereby declared open. I will share the link to those of you who don't have it yet, okay? Oseku, thank you, please.
All right. Yes, so once again, thank you for members of this parliament of truth and revolution, the parliament of justice, and creating awareness for our people. So I'm very happy to be back. I was here a couple of months back and it was very good. We had good conversation. Today, there's a lot has happened between the time I was here until today. A lot has gone on. So there's a lot we are unpacking here tonight. There's the geopolitical aspect to discuss in terms of the military base in West Africa, the Sahel country. That's a geopolitical discussion. Then there is the eternal issue in Nigeria about the president missing, about the Wike and Fobara and other things you show. So I would like to start with the geopolitics. With that, I'd like to show this book to a member of the parliament. If it is, I don't know if it's clear enough. If it's not, then I will come back and show it.
Yeah, if you move it closer to your chest, yeah, it is clear. That way, if you move it closer to your chest, closer to yourself, yeah,
Okay.
you can count properly, I believe. Brilliant. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, we could get that now. Thank you.
I think because I have to remove the background. Yeah, I put a blurry background. I think I don't know how to, I'll take it out later. So this book is called White Malice. It's written by Susan Williams. It's about how the CIA in USA have entered into Africa since the 1950s and 1960s. And their job is to recruit our elite, our politicians, those who are potentially to become president, or those who are likely to have power. They recruit you sometimes knowingly and unknowingly. Their job is for you to work for them. And I'm sad to tell you that most of our leaders on the continent were actually assets of the CIA, including my own country, Liberia. Even Charles Taylor, that came to Nigeria at that time, when you guys remember when Jaga Jaga, the song Nigeria Jaga Jaga, where they talk about Charles Taylor in Calabar. Charles Taylor worked for the CIA in Liberia. When he had done his job, they got rid of him. So what I'm trying to tell you here, your president, if you remember, during his case with Atiku, the FBI said they were going to send out some documents about him. Then they later didn't do it. They were trying to recruit him. They were trying to persuade him in the corner and say, look, if you don't do our job, you see what we got on you. And that's the truth I'm telling you. Where your president is right now, if they ask him to jump, he's going to say, how high can I jump? Yes, that's all I can tell you. The leader you have right now in office, he is a puppet. And I said this on the day he got in office, that he has been a puppet since he was governor, in fact. So right now is even going to be worse. And the Northerners are against it. They have their own interest. Now the security is not actually their interest, but they have other interests that they are trying to protect. So now let me tell you also the implication of having a military base in Nigeria. Nigeria is a potential superpower, or was, or used to be a potential superpower for West Africa and Africa as a whole. That country has a lot. Even when the Britain, in the 30, 40 years, this country might rival us. They had that fear. But it appears that Nigeria has lost this dream to become an African superpower. It appears that Nigeria has lost that dream since Buhari took power. To have a foreign military base in Africa is a country that is potentially to become a superpower in Africa, is to show that Nigeria has resigned, has given up its position to be a potential superpower. Because where we are right now in terms of geopolitics, World War III is being prepared. Since Putin attacked this country, Ukraine, there has been planned. All countries in the West are preparing for World War III. And World War III is going to be a nuclear war. And guess where World War III starts? It doesn't start in Europe. It doesn't start in America. It starts in third world countries where they have their bases. It starts first as a Cold War, where they attack each other's assets and bases before the world get to their ground. They are trying to make Africa the starting ground of World War III. So, for Nigeria, we're supposed to be a protector of West Africa, the mouthpiece of West Africa and Africa as a whole, giving itself up. I'm telling you, the black race has gone back 100 years backward. In 2024, I can tell you that the black race has gone back at least 100 years backward with all this elite that we have right now. We are not even part of the discussion of the 21st century. We pretend that we are in 21st century, but we are not part of it. We are not part of it. Nigeria had a dream of nuclear weapons since independence. They have not done nothing about it. Now the US wants to open a base. When Russia will have a base right there in Niger, the World War III will begin on the continent before it actually materializes in Europe. I want to stop there first on the geopolitics.
So cool. Thank you so much. While you kind of take a breather on that, I have another parliamentarian who has joined us tonight. So, sir, as usual as well, okay, it is yet to get busy. Some people are still thinking, should I join, should I not? So I will just enjoy our time until we have more of us joining tonight, sir. However, the People's Parliament, as you know it, you can choose what you want to say, what you want to talk about, or pretty much share your view on this current topic to continue sounding warning to those who are in charge that don't make this mistake, or else it will be the biggest of all those mistakes that probably Nigerians have been made to sort of live with. Because talking about mistakes or wrong decisions of those in charge, we have become so accustomed to this, right? There is a particular one you will make. I mean, everybody have to say, no, this one, don't try it. What do you think, sir? Please.
Yeah, hi, Malik Maego.
Yes, sir.
So nice to be here again with you. I think you said your last statement, we shouldn't try and make this kind of mistake. Omo, you should know that there's nothing like mistake in Nigeria. Everything has a purpose, a definite purpose. People plan, people take actions, and people don't care. Omo, if somebody wants to put that base in Nigeria today, that base will be there and nothing will happen. Trust me. But it's so ironic that in those days in the university, when we were in university in those days, more than 25 years ago, if you stay off campus, okay, and you have one of the court guy who is a leader of a team, one of the court guy like the Don, is your neighbor, you dare not say you are going to be in another court. you are very close. Maybe that guy is is a Don. That is where most activity happen. Maybe you're in the same compound. And they say, that man that is the Don of Aye. Then you, Bukanya, will not go and be in that compound. It's not possible. That was the foolishness of Ukraine trying to do with Russia. You don't go and fraternize with your neighbor's enemy. Now, it's so ironic that I've listened to commentators speaking about these things since yesterday. And it's so baffling is that nobody is even talking. Everybody's just speaking from two sides of their mouths, just to be careful not to offend the establishment. Now, you should know that US has a strategic interest in whatever they do. The strategic interest of the US in the US planting a base in Asia is quite different from that in Europe. It's quite different from that in Poland or wherever else. It's quite different. Can Russia go to Mexico to go and plant a base? Will the US allow? If the US is coming to Nigeria, mind you, the strategic interest of the US base, maybe in Japan, in Asia country, will be quite different from that in Africa. We've already known from beginning, even without telling us, even for what happened in Burkina Faso, Niger, that the strategic interest of the Western world planting the base in Africa was solely to protect the mineral resources.
Hello, my wonderful people. As we have finished watching this interesting video, please, I want to see your comment, your contribution, your opinion in the comment section. Like I said earlier, let us do it constructively. Tell me what you think about this video that you have just watched, and also about the platform. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please remember to subscribe, put on your notification bell, share this video, and remain blessed.